We have sent our cryptocurrencies to the Bitrefill card, and now we're going to calculate the actual fees we've paid and what you need to pay the most attention to, alright? Let's get to it. First, you need to keep in mind that we sent 50 USDC, and as you know, USDC is equivalent to USDT, which is equivalent to the dollar, okay? It's a stable coin that's widely used in Europe, since USDT can no longer be used in Europe, or can barely be used. So, we took 50 USDC and sent them to the Bitrefill card. Out of those 50 USDC or $50, we ended up with 38.16 euros. That's after paying fees, gas charges, and so on. And now we're going to look at the actual breakdown of this to really see where we paid more, where we paid less, and what fees were being charged. We did the calculation with ChatGPT, of course, because it's really useful for this kind of thing. And what we did, first of all, was send 50 USDC to the Bitrefill card. Using the Ethereum network, which is what Bitrefill uses, in this case, it's ERC20. Here's where we get hit for the first time, the first problem. The fee for sending from the exchange to the Bitrefill card is 4.29 USDC, which makes it quite high compared to the Tron network or similar, where normally you can get by with a fee of 0.70, 0.80 or $1.50 at most. Not here. Here, it's quite high. But as I said, this can vary. So what I recommend is that you keep an eye on the network options Bitrefill allows you to use to see if you can find a time when it's cheaper. Also keep in mind that depending on how congested the Ethereum network is at that moment, it can be more expensive or cheaper. There are times when it's much cheaper and times when it's more expensive. So you really need to keep this in mind when it's time to send your cryptocurrencies to the card. You can save yourself a good chunk of money if you're patient and plan ahead. So, how much do we have left? 45.71 USDC. But that's not the actual amount because only 45.70 arrived on the refill card. Why? Because there's always some rounding and someone always ends up with that little bit. It's just a small amount, just a cent, so it's not much. So, after deducting the Ethereum network fees for sending the money, we have 45.70 USDC left on the card. From here, let's really see what the card is charging us, okay? Because 45.70 USDC ended up as 38.16 euros on the card. So we asked HGPT to give us the exchange rate for the day, the time, etc. And just so you get an idea, with the exchange rate, those 45.70 USDC should have been 39.10 euros. But we only received 38.16. Which means we're talking about a commission that Bitrefill takes for this operation of 0.94 euros. Okay, 0.94 euros might not seem like much at the moment, but the amount of money involved is also small. So, what percentage is that? The percentage is about 2.40, 2.50% interest, which is the commission they take for converting the currency from cryptocurrency to euros. It's not a very high commission, no, since almost all cards charge around 10%. In this case, it's affordable, it's 2.40, 2.46, which is quite good. So, what do we need to keep in mind? The most important costs when we send money to the card are the gas fees. As I mentioned before, you have to keep an eye on the type of network to see if it's cheaper with another network that Bitrefill allows, or depending on the timing. Sometimes it's cheaper, sometimes more expensive. And then you have to remember that Bitrefill charges us, well, a commission of 2.40, 2.46, which is quite reasonable. Once we've paid this commission, we start using the card. When we use the card, there are no commissions. That is, we've checked it. Every payment we've made with Bitrefill has matched exactly what we've paid. And here we have, actually, you can see the shorts where you can check what we've been paying at different places. But for example, here we put 10 euros of diesel and it bought us 10 euros of diesel. At El Campo, we paid 1.25 euros for a drink and they charged us 1.25 euros. So we paid that 2.46% commission when loading money onto the Bitrefill card. But when we actually use it to pay, they don't charge us any more commissions. After that, when else will they charge us? Well, if we go to withdraw cash. When we go to an ATM, which you can see in the shorts, check them out in other videos, to withdraw cash, they will charge us a commission. But Bitrefill won't charge us a commission because, just so you can see, we went to an ATM. Withdrew 10 euros from the ATM. There's the short, so you can see it. In the short, I say that these are going to be the most expensive 10 euros ever, but in the end, that's not really the case. We withdrew the 10 euros. And the ATM already tells us that it's going to charge us a 2.95% commission, and it does charge us a 2.95% commission. But it charges us this amount whether we withdraw 10 euros, 100 euros, 200 euros, or even 500 euros. As long as the ATM allows us to, of course. So really, it's a fee that the ATM charges us for using its service. In this case, it was a CaixaBank ATM, but you can try it at any ATM and look for the one with the lowest fees. Because before you withdraw the money, they already let you know what the commission will be. But Bitrefill does not charge you a commission for withdrawing cash. And here is a clear example. We see a cash withdrawal of 10 euros, which you can see here, right? 12.95. And here we see how they charge us 2.95 from the ATM, but we received 10 euros. So nothing else has been charged to us. So in summary, we pay the gas fee for sending the money to the Bitrefill card. Then Bitrefill charges us a commission for the currency exchange of about 2.46%, roughly 250, okay? To round it off. And from there, we don't pay any more fees. We use the card without paying any kind of commission, but if we withdraw money from an ATM, we have to pay the ATM service fee. But Bitrefill doesn't charge us any more fees. I hope this has been helpful, and we'll continue analyzing this card.